Hello, Nyojong, and we are live with Banya here today. All right, so today is Friday night, and everybody's probably out enjoying their evening. But tonight we're gonna truck along, and we're gonna share our journey tonight. So I have a business partner with me here, and we'll be talking about the real journey of building an online business. It's something that we all know too well about nowadays that the workforce is moving towards online, and do we feel like we want to just sit and watch those that are growing online, or do we want to hop on that train and dip our toes into what we are currently learning and doing today, right? So I'm going to bring my business partner on with me on the stage, and we will share our personal journey with you guys on our journey to building an online business. Hello, welcome, Chong.
Hello,
All right.
hello.
Thank you for joining me tonight. So, I am streaming live from Minnesota. I am a mom, a wife, and an MA coordinator by profession, and I'm an online digital business owner. And I decided to run um, my online business 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, because I wanted a change for myself, not for just only me, but for my boys. I wanted to show them that there's more to the 9 to 5, right? Because we knew how it was for us growing up, watching our parents do more than the 9 to 5, right? They work from sun up to sundown. So I wanted to show them that there was more to life than just seeing grandma and grandpa work so hard, or seeing mom and dad wake up and not be able to spend that day with them or that evening with them when they return home from school. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Chong, and let us know where you're tuning in live from, and share a little bit about your background and why you started the business.
Well, hi, I'm Chong Miller, and I am a mom, a wife, and a realtor by profession. I'm also a digital business owner and mentor. I am streaming live from Arizona, and I just started this business um, so that I can start saving and preparing for retirement. I don't want to do that 9 to 5 grind. As a realtor, I'm pretty flexible in my schedule, and this business is flexible with my schedule as well. It complements my real estate, um, you know, um, business as well as I'm over 50, and as I turned 50, I realized that retirement is not that is still a long ways, and I'm going to have to be working a long time, like another 17, 20 years. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't want to work for another 20, 17 to 20 years. I want to, well, first of all, don't have enough saved. And I know most people don't have enough saved for retirement. So they don't, that's why we don't retire. But the second thing is that when I found out about this business, it, I knew that it was the right vehicle to take me to early retirement. And so I know that I work this, I will be able to retire myself and my husband in the next 3 to 5 years. And that's what I'm really looking at. So um, yeah, that's why I'm here. I want to, and of course, on top of that, I get to build a legacy for my children. And you
Yes,
know,
that's right. You touched a few points tonight: legacy, early retirement, building something for us that we want to be able to leave behind for our kids. That is something that our business allows us to do, because we all know that
yeah,
when you go to work 9 to 5 and you are working for somebody else's dream, you're building somebody else's foundation for them. And when you retire or when you're ready to leave, you can't say, "Here, little boy, take on my position and keep growing for this company." It's not possible, because that's not how it works. But this online business does. It allows us
yeah,
to pass it on to our kids one day, and they get to continue the growth that we started where we left off, right? Because the hard work that
yes,
you put into this business, it will truly bring you success, blessings, and it comes in all forms. Something that we tend to overlook sometimes, because when I know when I started, so this is going to go into a question, right, that I'm going to answer first, and then I'll ask you about it, Chong. So it
okay.
kind of ties back to, what do you see, how do you see yourself now compared to when you started, right? So even though I started back in 2022, it felt like I just started yesterday, because for me, I've learned over time that no matter how much I knew before I came into this business, I was wrong, because one, I chose not to reach out for help. Two, I thought I knew the knowledge that I knew was enough for me to grow my online business. And then three, my mindset, my own personal growth, was that I felt like I was not good enough, or what I was doing was not good enough. So that's what stopped me from achieving greater um, blessings along the road. So that's what set me back, right? So being able to look back at the years that or the months that I've had in this business, and to up until now where I am, I feel like I've grown so much personally and professionally in this online business, that I never knew that I would be able to get where I am today, because I thought I was comfortable at my 9 to 5 job a few years ago. And I thought I knew myself, but I did not. But this business challenged me to really seek the inner, probably like the inner child, like they say, right? The inner child. Who are you really? So I learned to lean on the global community that we have. I learned to lean on my mentor slash coach that I have. I learned to lean on other teammates that I have. So even though this is our own online business, we get to lean on others for knowledge, for education, for personal reasoning, whatever it is that we need, right? To be able to grow even more and even achieve greatness, right? Because blessing comes in all forms that I have learned to accept. And I learned from a very one of our own business partners, that if you have a strong mindset of just wanting everything to happen or to fall into your lap today, it's not going to, because you have to learn to work on your mindset first. And ever since I've seen her use that model, I've learned that, hey, I need to change my mindset, the way that I think personally first, before I can receive the other blessings that are meant to come my way. So ever since then, I've been patient. I've been working on my mindset, and that's what I've been doing. And I am loving every step of the way that I get to see within myself. So with that being said, Trong, from today compared to when you first started in this business, how much have you seen growth in yourself personally or professionally?
Well, I've seen a lot. Again, like you, I when I started, I thought I knew a lot of stuff, and I knew that I haven't done enough in social media because I was a consumer, right? I was not
Mm.
making anything. I was consuming. I was like, but I didn't realize all the things that you know, have learned so far. I mean, so far I've learned how to do so many different things, and you know, it's just sometimes they just come naturally and sometimes they don't. It's the things that don't come naturally that takes me takes more focus, right? More
Mhm.
time, more energy, and and I think that I can see myself grow as a digital business owner. In that, before like I was, I guess, camera shy. I don't know. I don't know if it's really camera shy, but it was like I really was afraid to come
Mhm.
online. I
Okay.
was, because I didn't like seeing myself. I didn't like hearing myself, because I'm not used to hearing myself, right? And so um, I didn't want to come online. And it's not
Mm.
that I just I was scared. What we say, I did it scared anyway. And then
Yes.
to just keep doing it is like one of those things. You got to challenge yourself. You see the fear, but then you do it anyway, and you do it. And once you do it enough, you overcome that fear, right?
Mhm.
Um, I mean, I'm surprised I've been able to do live every day because again, like I mentioned, my first live was like 2 minutes long and I deleted it. Didn't have sound. Then I did second one. It was just like totally. I just deleted it because I didn't like how it was. So I came from that to now, to this, to where I am happy to and excited to go online to talk about my business, because again, I see that um, it is my business is I am my business. I'm here to share with people. I work hard on myself and my business. Why of the things that I've been working on, like again, you mentioned mindset. I did not really have that. I always had first of all, personally, I've always had a winning mindset because I always felt like I was self-employed and I get to apply my skills at whichever organization that I join because that's how I
Mhm.
feel. Because I know that because I've quit many jobs because of you know, the various demands that they and how management is. It's just like I've quit a job because there were unethical stuff happening, and I decided I wasn't going to be part of that organization. I
Mm.
quit a job, and that's why I feel that I am I'm self-employed because I choose where to work, right? And that's how I've always been, which is why I make a real good realtor because I work for myself, right? So I always felt like that. And the second job I quit because, again, it is why I'm doing this business. Had I had this business, then this would have been a perfect fit for me then because they were asking for me to extend my working hours. So I was seeing my kids were small. They were like 6 and 9, 6 and 9, and I was seeing them grow like this. I didn't see them growing taller. I saw them growing longer. Why? Because I woke up, took them to school, came back, they were asleep. Feed them, then they sleep. I didn't really have time to see them. And a new boss showed up. And after being
Mm.
there for 2 years with no appreciation, no promotion, no evaluation, well, I was doing everybody else's job. And I was keeping everything moving because management, they were having turnovers in our management group. And I was the manager who stayed and run the whole program. But
Mhm.
when the new guy came in, he's like, and mind you, this is after time I was supposed to go home. After 5 o'clock, when I was supposed to go home, he calls me into his office for another 15, 20 minutes to tell me, you need to stay longer tomorrow, starting tomorrow. And I said, okay, yes, thank you. That wrote my resignation letter on the way home, and the next morning I turned it in. Why? Because I did not want to spend more time away from my children. And that is why I quit on that job because I get to choose where I want to be with my children. I don't want to be working for someone who did not appreciate me and is still taking time away from my children. And so that's why I'm like so passionate about this business because this business allows me to create, you know, and you know how we are. Our children is our everything. We want to. We don't want to just the Hmong way, we die, they get, sunshine money, and that's what, and then they got to do the funeral. They got sunshine money, and maybe it covers the funeral, maybe get a little bit extra. They get to keep that. That's what I'm leaving behind, traditionally in a Hmong thing, right? Well, I don't
Right.
want that. I
Mm.
don't want to leave sunshine money. I want to leave a legacy. So I want a
That's
business that will leave a legacy. I can build a business that won't disappear on me. And I've done insurance, and there's the difference too. Insurance, if you stop and you come back, you don't get to pick up where you are. You know, like I could build
that's
this
right.
up. I could build this business up to, you know, the sixth, what do we call that? The sixth level, right? And then have a personal life issue and step away for a year, even several months or a year. And then when I come back, I'm right back at six. Am I not in this business? In my insurance business, I don't think that was it. You leave, you kind of lose everything, everybody. You lose your place. and you have to start over, scramble again. And that's,
Yes, that's a good example.
you know,
And that
that's
leads
what's
me
hard for
into
me.
yes, and that leads me into our next question where the real talk, right? So, talking from a business perspective is what do you do? How much time do you spend on this business? And what are you doing? Just for those that are, um, oh no, don't tell me my Wi-Fi. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. You're lagging a
Okay,
little bit, but you're good.
okay, all right. Um, what do you do? How long do you spend on this business? And what do you find how do you find yourself feeling at the end of each day after a long day of your regular job and then doing this business?
Well, um, I don't know. I'm pretty excited about doing this business. It doesn't take me all day, although I could make it all day because I enjoy doing it.
Mm.
So there are days when I do it all day because I'm like, oh, I got an idea. I want to do this. I want to do that. Or I'm working on a project. You know, like those collabs take time because I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
fit it all in. But like it depends. But like just the last couple of days, it's been my anniversary. I've been spending time away from my business, although I'm still working on my business, but I'm still
Mm-hmm.
spending time away from my business. I'm still doing my live. I'm still doing my posting. I'm still doing these things. But it didn't take all day because I spent most of the day with my husband. So that's the difference. It's like no one. Did you know I was doing had me most of the day off? Did you notice?
Exactly. No.
I was still doing my job. I was still doing things. I was still keeping things done. And that's the thing is that you don't have to do all day. And that's what it's great. I do a little bit here and there. I actually, if I wanted to, and I'm still going to have to learn how to do it in Instagram. Okay. But I do it when I can preset, right? I still don't know how to preset in Instagram. So I really need help with that. But I can set everything to go whenever and schedule it, and I could just take the whole day off, the whole time off. Things will still continue working for me, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the automation, the part of the learning. What's so great is that you mentioned a couple of things like the community learning from it. What I don't know, I was learning from the whole community people. There are people who are willing to help each other, pull you up. If you're not there, they pull you up. They teach you,
Mm-hmm.
and you pull them up too. Everybody pull everybody else up. Can we motivate each other? And not everybody's gonna have a perfect day, and we're having a little down day. Somebody's gonna pull you up, and
That's right.
motivate to help you, and say, hey, try this. What's up? To check in on you, and that's the that's the best feeling is when you have someone to count on to check in on you and stuff, and um, having a business mentor and a business coach to check in on you, that is pretty awesome in itself to guide you. I mean, yeah, that's
Well, thank you for sharing. Yes, that is very true. That's what I love about our business too, is that even though um, we say it's an online business, I don't have to spend more than the amount of hours that I need to, right? I don't have to wake up at 6 in the morning and then stay on the computer until 4 o'clock in the evening. I get to create, I get to check in whenever I want to, whenever I have the time. And that's what I love about our business is that it's flexible. I create my own time. I create my own schedule is what I should probably be saying. And it's considered full time because it doesn't take much. All you need to do is just spend a few hours, not even a few hours, a few minutes, like at least 30 minutes a day. Because the more you put in, the more you get, right? And it all factors in because even though this is an online business, I don't have to sit behind a computer all day to be considered putting time in. I could be reading a book to help grow my mindset. I could be reading a book to help me grow in all other areas that will help me succeed in growing my online business. And just on a last note, it's just asking the questions, because I knew for the long, I, for one, took too long to ask the questions, and that's what slowed me down. And, here we are, 3 years later, I'm still in here. Chong started, but I'm hoping for her to be here for the rest of her life as well, up until a certain time, right? Up until a certain time, until we're comfortable enough to just, hey, our business is booming. And we did it because we continue to show up, stay plugged in, and continue to work extra hard for ourselves, not because of just wanting, the income to come in, but because we want to leave a legacy behind for our kids, for our future generations to come, and to change the online world, that we don't have to do a 9 to 5 job to make it our earning. We don't have to report to other bosses or build other bosses' business for them, when we can build our own and start our own business. All right. So with that being said, I hope you guys were able to take away a few little tips about the real journey of building an online business. Before we sign off, Chong, is there some? Would you like to share any inspiring inspiration or advice to our audience?
Well, I think if you've been thinking about doing something different with your life, yeah, wanting a change, wanting to make more money, make more time for people you love, maybe travel more, save more, travel more, you owe it to yourself to check it out. Check out our business. Check out this and see if you have ever done any of the things that I mentioned before. You will see the you got to check out this compensation plan. Our comp plan is very lucrative, and that's why I'm seeing that there's potential for me and to graduate, to retire, not graduate. It's graduation season. I don't like graduate, to retire early in the next 3 to 5 years, not 15 to 20 years, but 3 to 5 years, and that is saying a lot. So you owe it to yourself to check it out. At least do your due diligence. Check it out. Find out the most, and there's you got nothing to lose.
That's right. Well, thank you very much for
Yeah.
being with me today. Yes, like Chong said, our website is either down below under our name or in the comments. Check us out. Ask us questions, and we do have a live webinar every Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Central Time. And catch it live and get inspired, and hop on and ask questions. But with that being said, I just want to say thank you to my audience for tuning in live or catching the replay later. Let us drop a comment and let us know where you're tuning in from, and any questions that you have, let us know. So with that, thank you again, Chong, and I will catch you guys next week. Have a good night. Have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
Bye bye.